evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Movie Buffer. Tonight we are going to be reviewing Pieces of a Woman. Pieces of a Woman is a 2020 Canadian-American drama directed by Cornel Mundruco from a screenplay by Kata Weber. The film stars Vanessa Kirby, Shia LaBeouf, and Ella Burstyn. Martin Scorsese serves as one of the executive producers. The film is directly related to Mundruco's and Weber's 2018 stage play of the same name. It was released in select theaters on December 30th, 2020, before streaming on Netflix in January 2021. The film received generally positive reviews with praise from the performances of Kirby, LaBeouf, and Burstyn. For her performance, Kirby was nominated for the Academy Award, Golden Globe Awards, among others. The film begins with Martha and Sean, a young couple from Boston, who are expecting their first child. Martha goes into labor at their home and Sean calls their midwife Barbara. She is unavailable and sends another midwife named Eva in her place. Martha soon gives birth to a baby girl who at first seems healthy. Eva then notices the baby is turning blue and attempts to revive her, but the baby goes into cardiac arrest and dies, and that's where the story actually begins. Oh my God. This is a slow and ridiculously raw film. Not sure why they felt the need to make it this way, but they did. Slow meaning it takes literally 24 minutes to get to the birth and death of the child. And this is the beginning of the movie. This is where it actually starts. It almost moves in actual time, or it feels like it's moving in actual time, while Martha is giving birth, from the contractions to the baby finally being born. It is a bit traumatic and not needed, in my opinion. The scene could have been done within just a few minutes, but they drug it out on, and I was literally getting bored from watching it, wishing the kid would just come out already. I mean, seriously. After the birth, the movie then skips forward a few months as we see Martha struggling with grief and loss. Her mother, that everyone seems to hate for some reason, it's not really explained in the movie, except the mother is a bit judgmental and doesn't approve of Martha's boyfriend, but to me that's just typical mother and daughter stuff. In anticipation of the baby, the mother buys them a minivan, and the couple scoffs at it. Sean is offended because he doesn't make enough money to afford a decent car, and Martha just generally detests her mother. So she does a lot of stomping around, being rather annoying if you ask me. Yes, she is dealing with severe grief, but the character is not likable. Frankly, I didn't care. She treated her mother and sister like shit, even before the loss of her baby. I didn't feel a love connection between Martha and Sean. Outside of Martha choosing him, probably just to piss off her mother, I saw no reason they should have been together at all. Now let's talk about the rawness of the movie. Instead of focusing on character development, the film focused on how in-your-face real they can make it. I'll give an example. In one scene where a few months after Martha has given birth, the couple obviously had not had sex. Martha doesn't want to, claiming that her body had not healed, but actually it had. It was her emotions that hadn't healed. Perfectly understandable. But Sean needed to have sex, so he ignores her protests and continues trying to get on top of her and telling her to touch it, meaning his penis. The scene goes on to us witnessing a borderline rape. Eventually, she gives in and says, "Can I just take off my pants?" Sean sees that she is clearly doing it just to get him off and not because she actually wants to have sex. So he abruptly gets up, gets dressed, and walks out of the house. He does this not before we get to see his limp little noodle full frontal. I mean, really? Okay, I didn't need to see that. So the movie, at least the first part, is full of raw scenes like this, of sexual and non-sexual natures. Pieces of a Woman, the story itself is a good one, dealing with the loss of a baby and how a couple deals with it in the aftermath, both going through their own hard grief journeys. But how the story was told did not bring you into this pain. You feel like a peeping Tom, really, completely disconnected from the characters. The performances were great, however. I can see how Vanessa Kirby was nominated for her performances. I also thoroughly enjoyed her as Princess Margaret on The Crown. She's an amazing actress. I love seeing Shia LaBeouf being his usual gruff self. However, I would have thought that Ellen Burstyn would have been nominated as well for her performance. There was one monologue in the movie that she gave when she was describing her own birth, which I thought was the most compelling scene of the whole damn movie. And when she was done, I was like, geez, now I have to go back to these characters I could care less about. The mother was the only character I wanted to know anything about for the whole entire movie. So, would I recommend this movie? I don't know. No, not really. I mean, it doesn't completely suck. The acting is amazing. However, it's the kind of movie you watch if you have absolutely nothing else to do, or you're trapped at someone's house who is watching it, and there you are. Or you are just lazy and don't want to change the channel, which has happened to me a few times. I was compelled to watch it for the trailer, thinking it would be a hard-hitting court battle of some gut-wrenching tragedy, but it wasn't at all. The ending was anticlimactic. I was just glad it was over, quite frankly. I often wonder why certain movies get chosen for Oscar nominations. You can probably name a few where it made sense, but there are a slew of others, like this one, where you're like, Oscar-worthy? Really? I don't see it. This movie felt like I was watching an episode from a TV series instead of an actual movie. So, what did you think? Have you seen Pieces of a Woman? How do you feel about movies that often get nominated for Oscars? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, peace, 2 fingers.